Hello.
People are already here.
Y'all are here waiting for us. This is the time of year where K-Rob, it's probably not YouTube acting up. It's probably our issues. So if you're watching the replay, we go live at 7 Central Time on Sunday nights, every Sunday.
Really, we go live between 7 and 7:15.
It gets a little more iffy during this time of year. So I just came in from working. I managed to wash my hands, but not clean out underneath my nails. So that's lovely. Hey, Natalie, what's up? So yeah, everything. How's everybody doing? Well, you're here at the beginning now, Allie. We just started. The kids just went outside. Well, Malia and the little boys just went outside to play with the walkie-talkies. I was out there shooting a vlog for tomorrow and planting a bunch of seeds. And Maya just got out of his bee suit. So usually 7 o'clock on Sundays it kind of sneaks up on us when the weather gets warm because we're usually outside working.
I think I've got honey stuck in my mustache.
Oh, nice.
Save that for later.
Elderberry Farm Life. Yep, out in the garden. Miss Wanda, I got your letter today. Thank you so much. I'm excited to try that recipe as well. My first garden is growing in Maine. Cucumbers, squash, beets, romaine peppers. Awesome, Regina. Congratulations. Goodness, this is moving fast tonight. Hello in Utah, Janetta. Can you give a complete goat care for dummies? I have a little bit of goat care information. I don't know that I don't feel like super. I guess we're
pretty versed in goat stuff, but that's versed. Really a 2 video.
Yeah, that'd have to be.
It's goat care for dummies and then caring for dumb goats. There's 2 different things.
I love my goats. They are a lot though. Wholesome Roots, Rose, she has a lot of goat information. She's a good source for goat information. One thing that, there are 2 different camps. There are people who use, like chemical dewormers and stuff. I'm out of breath from running up here. Chemical dewormers and then like the herbal. And we actually don't do things completely naturally because our goats were dependent on chemicals when we got them. And it's really hard to get them weaned from that. So Rose does more like a natural method. So,
and the Stivers have goats, but we basically taught them everything they know. So, Zach's not here yet, so he can't defend himself. But we did give them their first set of goats, or close to.
No, it wasn't their first. They had some right before that.
They had like 1 or 2 at the most.
Yeah, they have 2.
So we started them down the path of return, and now they have like 12.
I know. And the other day, she's like, "Are you looking to get rid of any goats?" I was like, "No."
Who said that?
Jen. I was like, you've got the bug. That was a little while ago. I told her they need to come visit us. I would love to have them here. Thank you, Emily. Yeah, Walling Family Farm. Our herd, because we got into goats like on a really kind of big scale. We went from having 2 goats that were essentially like pets. We'd gotten them as babies and raised them, Miriam and Maggie. They're 5 now. And we then got an entire herd, 10 goats, 8 of which were bred in a trade that Maya did. And they were beautiful Nubians, great goats, and they were used to dewormers. So, aw, thanks, Chasing Life. That's so sweet. Oh, have you ordered? We actually have ordered our freeze dryer. We did order it after the live last Sunday, and then the following 2 days you guys continue to send in donations. So as soon as the tomatoes arrive,
did we ever get someone's affiliate link? Because we can still apply it to somebody.
I had some people message me, like nobody gave me like a distinct, like here's my information, put it on there. So the first person I get that from, we can still apply it. Are the Stivers here? Hey, Stivers. From Baker Creek is where I get. What? Can you hand me my purse? Do you see that pack sticking out of my blue wallet? Just hand me that little thing. The purple potted pole beans are from Baker Creek, and then I also like these Trionfo Violetto. And these were sent to me actually by my friend Tammy. I don't know if she's on here. From Uprising Seeds. She ordered these for me. So this is going on one of my trellises. I grew these and really liked them a couple years ago. And then I couldn't find. Oh, yeah. Good for life right there. They just came today. I just got them today. I just went to the post office today. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jessica keeps seeds in her wallet at all times because everywhere she goes, she's like, do you want it seeds or money? Seeds? Okay, good.
Actually, hand me my purse. Let's see what all seeds are in my purse right now. There are always...
Okay, the kids are making fun of me today because the back of my truck is growing grass.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
From all that soil we moved over for Carla.
Oh, that is really funny. Well, there's a lot in my purse right now because I went to the P.O. Box today. Here from Avon. I've got some triple crop tomato seeds, delicious tomato, Healy's Pride cantaloupe, and Encino squash, which was perfect timing because I was wishing I had some of those seeds. You know what's really cool?
What, Bruce?
All of the seeds that I wanted to plant this year, but then I wasn't going to be able to plant because whenever everything went crazy and people were ordering up all the seeds, not order any more seeds, even though there were a few varieties that I really wanted to plant that I didn't have seeds for because I had things that I could plant and I just didn't want to put any more pressure on that. And since then, my viewers have sent me everything that I wanted to plant that I didn't have seeds for. Everything, like down to specific varieties. It's been really, really cool. And this was one, Charmancino was one of them. So that one's going up. So those are in there. Rhubarb. Got some rhubarb seeds today. That's something that I was wanting to plant. I actually don't have a lot of seeds in this purse. Well, I mean, like those packages. Oh, look at Brucey.
He's gotten so big.
Oh.
I think he's saying, it's evening.
Where's
my wet food? I need it.
Oh, bless him.
He's going to jump down.
Yeah, Paul Robeson is one that I really love. I don't know. I didn't see the conversation that was going on. I really don't have a lot of tips about roses because they've just done well for me. And I know that's just not fair, but a good fertilizer. We use that Stark Brothers fertilizer, which I think that really helped a lot this year.
And honestly, we haven't hit the rest of our roses up with it yet, but we're about to. And someone said you should fertilize once a month.
We deadhead
all the buds after they die.
And they said don't let them get too bushy because humidity's bad for them.
So you got to thin out some branches and stuff.
Cindy's Green Oasis, hello in North Idaho. Thank you so much.
But we're just learning.
Yeah.
Roses, peppers. You know what's been really successful, and we don't know the exact circumstances as to why yet. It could be one of two things, but our squashes and zucchini are killing right now.
They are really awesome.
It could be because we moved them to a new spot, and so the bugs lost. They don't have directions. Their Google Maps is like they can't get them there. Or two, the fact that we planted inside that white fabric, which keeps soil contact down. That could be happening.
Carol, why can't I germinate my cucamelons and my ground cherries? Please give me an answer. My assumption, which I don't know this, but if everything else that you've planted is germinating, but those aren't, I would say you're probably putting them too deep because those are both very, very, very tiny seeds. Seeds need to be planted twice as deep as they are wide. So when you have like tiny, tiny seeds like that, like ground cherry seeds are minuscule, so are cucamelon seeds. Literally set them on top of the soil and just press them in. Just with your finger, just press down, barely brush a little soil on top, just a little dent. That's all it takes. Keep the soil moist and make sure they're staying warm enough. 70 or so degrees would be ideal. Like in your house would be really good. Under a light would be good. And they will take, both of those are slow germinators. They are slow, so don't give up. But I would say if you've put them in and they just are continually not coming up, it would be probably because of depth. Hey, Morgan Gold, how are you, man? Somebody asked, it flew by. We are in Arkansas. We live in Central Arkansas. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much. Juice.
We don't change our juice recipe.
We pretty much do the same. I have been playing around with juicing some beets. Thank you, Rachel.
I have not been playing around with juicing some beets.
He's not a fan. I'm not actually a fan.
I'm a very steady person in that regard. I like eating the same stuff every day. Now, you can change the flavors up a little bit, but like, I generally get up, have my cup of coffee, a smoothie, go out, lunch. You can eat the same thing every
guys,
day.
We've been working out. We've been exercising.
We have.
In the mornings. Doing like cardio and legs and stuff.
See those things? They look the exact same. But I feel less sore.
No, we were like, we're going to start... we are going to start doing this regularly. It's been on the list, like something we wanted to do for a while, and it's just like a thing of like discipline, getting up and doing that, and it's really, it's been really fun. It's been hard. I
feel better actually when we get up and do it.
I feel so much better.
One day we got up and we're like, we'll just do it tonight. We did it that night. We're like, this is the
never
worst.
Again, never again. Yeah, we do it first thing in the morning.
Red Rocket Homestead Garden. I'm pretty sure I would disappoint a lot of people if I didn't eat it raw.
I was thinking that what we could do with maybe like a slice of it, but the only thing is this would like extend, because he might just like be able to power through it. He might pull a marine thing and just power through this thing.
I'm just going to fast for 3 days before, and I'll be so hungry that
I wish he would like try and enjoy a tomato sandwich. I really just...
Do you want to make it a tomato sandwich? What about a BLT?
I mean, if you want to put that on, that would be fun. And
that counts?
I mean,
I guess we'd have to take a vote.
I guess we'd have to take a poll.
Yeah, we may have to put a poll out. Does a BLT count? I'm hoping you say yes.
Somebody was asking if we sell seeds. I actually don't sell seeds. I really just don't have the capacity for that.
I think it's probably... Well, some people are saying it counts. A lot of people are saying no.
But the thing is if you did like a tomato sandwich, that wouldn't be the whole tomato. You'd still have to eat some of it raw, because you don't put a whole tomato on a tomato sandwich. So maybe like eat 3/4 of it raw and then put a quarter on a BLT.
Our moderators, Natalie, don't get a vote. Okay, so your vote does not
Did
count.
she say no?
She's like, that does not count. I wasn't asking you.
Put that tomato on a crispy hamburger patty.
That
probably would not count.
That sounds great. How about we use hamburger patties as the bread?
Guys, the reason why I'm like, okay, maybe a little piece on a tomato sandwich, a little bit, because I'm really wanting to convince Jeremiah to eat tomatoes. Goldshaw Farm said, tomato eating contest winner gets a lightsaber.
I'll eat every tomato in the entire garden.
You do know we planted 250 tomato plants. You listen. Last week you said you guys buy Jessica freeze dryer and I'll eat a raw tomato, and here we are with a freeze dryer on order.
Oh, I'm not promising anything. I'm done challenging our viewers.
We're gonna wait till we have a tomato from our garden.
What is a ground cherry? It is the best thing you can grow in your garden of all time.
It's like a cherry tomatillo. Thank you, Ginger Son. So because of the fact that like COVID made the world go crazy, dryers are back ordered, and they said 10 weeks. They said that's really just covering themselves, that it won't take that long, but they can't promise us that it will take less.
This is what they said. We're saying 10 weeks. Now, it may not take 10 weeks. He said, but you ain't going to get it in 5 weeks. So we're looking at somewhere between 5 and 10 weeks.
Yeah. So really excited about that. And that's okay. We're getting the kitchen done. Do y'all notice that our pantry, like we've got this makeshift pantry back behind us here?
And there's no fixture above our head now.
And there's no fixture above us. We're sitting at our table, which has a lot of our kitchen stuff on the other side of it. And our kitchen, if you'll notice there, like my cookbooks aren't on the cabinet. Our kitchen is on its way to being empty. Thank you, Derek Williams. I agree. Those 3 together are
I got amazing. This week, and then the cabinets come like Tuesday
of next week.
The coming Tuesday, a week from then.
Yeah.
So June 9th.
Yeah.
And so I need to have everything gutted, floor up.
Because he's
everything on the floor dressed. the water and all that, electrical.
I talked to my Aunt Ann today, and I'm going to go take the kids and go stay with them for a couple of days.
Oh, you
and
did?
Visit them, yeah.
When are you leaving?
Nice. Whenever I need to. That's up to you.
Okay.
Greenwich Homestead. I went back and watched the video of you trying one last season. I can't wait. Yeah, you guys. Jeremiah tried a tomato last season. He tried to try a tomato. He spit it out. Texture.
As soon as I smelled it. And it touched
the spring rain has been crazy, and my tomatoes in the Jeremiah.
What?
We match. Look at us. We're coordinating. Someone pointed it out.
I'll be back.
You better not. One time.
I will.
He hates that.
I have gym shorts on.
We will not be these people.
I have gym shorts on. You have jeans on. Look. Gym shorts. Just because you got jeans on, we're not matching that much.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Doesn't count. He hates being those people. One time we got to town. We were we met up to have coffee. And I got out of the car. We didn't even realize it. I got out of the car. I'm like, hey. And then we're walking in, and this girl goes, oh my gosh, did you guys just take pictures or something?
You guys going to a wedding?
We're like, no. And she was like, you match exactly. Can I take your picture? And I was like, and I looked and I was like, hey, because we were
I almost took my shirt off to go to the coffee shop.
If I come out in the morning and I match him, he will go change. Dead serious. He will not.
Unless I really like my outfit, and then I'll make you go change.
So this day, I was wearing a black cardigan with a gray V-neck underneath, and this plum-colored skirt that was this high-waisted skirt, and gray Toms. He was wearing a black V-neck shirt with the same color maroon plum shorts that I didn't even notice. We had two pairs of clothes that were the exact same color and gray shirts. Toms.
I burned those.
And
shorts.
So we literally were wearing completely matching outfits, and he almost died. He was just no. He just I don't know why you don't like that. Is that because did your mom always dress you and your brother in matching clothes?
No, we can never afford that.
I don't know why.
It was each of us got one new outfit, and then I got the hand-me-down outfit.
No, he definitely.
I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm not going to be that old couple.
Our tattoos match because they were done by the same artist.
But they're not the same thing.
Yeah, they're not matching tattoos.
I have a bird of prey. She's got a chicken and a.
It's a rooster.
And a rooster. That's not a bird of prey.
He's angry.
He's angry. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I think I'm actually going to try and get some more. I want to get some other birds of prey on this arm.
Yeah.
Like a hawk and an owl.
I don't like hawks.
I like hawks.
I don't like them because they kill chickens.
Yeah, but they don't kill our chickens.
You can't get a hawk.
Yes, I can.
Oh, hey, Green Zebra Gardening, what is up? A buzzard. There you go. Allie Brown said get a buzzard.
I'm not getting a buzzard. Smelly dead
Can I
things?
dehydrate overripe strawberries? I would think so, yeah. Ripe stuff usually dehydrates pretty well.
All baby goats are doing good.
Yeah, Fred's ultra cute. I'll put him in a vlog soon. In my Gardener affiliate code is Jess10. Jess10.
We have lots of bees. Someone said get bees.
Yeah, we have 7 hives.
We have 7 hives right now.
I do need a tomato tattoo. That is a very good idea, Jennifer. I've actually never considered getting a tomato tattoo. My friend Nora has a tomato tattoo, and it's really cute. I like blackberries. I've talked about getting blackberries.
No, actually, I kind of like the number of hives. Someone said too many hives. I think it's a good. I can get through a pretty in-depth hive inspection through all of them in about 2 hours, so that's really not that bad. Now, my friend has 45 hives, and it's an all-day thing just to do hive inspections, and then actually Bentern goes and helps him sometimes, and he looked at his feeding system, because when you have 40 hives and you need to feed sugar water because they're having nectar issues or whatever, one 5-gallon bucket basically fills up one feeder. That's 45 5-gallon buckets of sugar water. So now he's got this 100-gallon tank. He mixes it all up and then comes out with a gas pump and pumps it into each feeder.
That's crazy. Alberta, awesome, welcome.
We do some composting, but not
Not enough to be sustainable.
Mostly what we're composting is bedding from barns. Yeah. That's our biggest compost.
We take all our kitchen scraps and feed them to our pigs and our chickens. Yeah, we don't compost any chickens. Or
and they poop, and we take all the straw and the mud and all the poop out and compost it for a year and then turn it into soil.
We actually, Schmidt's Riches, we actually did mulch the walkways of our garden, and even though we put weed barrier down, the weeds grew straight up through it.
Well, the mulch just turned into soil.
Yeah.
They just grew again on top.
We do take supplements. We take doTERRA supplements that I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate, and we've been taking that lifelong vitality supplements for about a year. We really like them. So,
Dehydrator Excalibur. I would not. We've had other brands.
Well, we had some cheaper ones, and then we got the Excalibur, and it's pretty much, I mean, like most people who have it, like really, really love it. So
some people say they don't like it, but for the most part, people love it.
Yeah, I've not actually talked to anybody who doesn't like theirs, but
also someone asked other tomato, like do I like stuff tomato makes? Yes, I will eat all the things that tomatoes produce. I just don't like eating them raw yet.
Hey, Murray Hatchery, what is up?
My friends. 36-inch stove. Too late.
Yeah, we already bought it.
Sorry, dude.
What did we get?
30.
Is it 30?
I think it'll be fine for us.
Is it 30?
I think so. We got a 30-inch range, which you told me.
Oh, yeah, we did. We measured it. Did we get a 30-inch range? I don't know. We need to look at it. We double-checked that it matched.
It's 30.
That's time.
It's a standard stove, but it's gas.
Burners,
it's 5 burners, and it'll.
So I want to buy like a really, really awesome stove eventually, but I decided not to buy one in this house. Somebody asked if I wanted more tattoos. I really like tattoos, obviously. I hate getting tattoos. I am such a weenie about it. Just absolutely miserably like this one's not even done. Look at that. Like I have this big space. It hasn't been done. I haven't had a tattoo in over 2 years. Like, and I will eventually fill this in, but it's on my elbow, and so I've just put it off for 2 years because lame. Hurts. Well, we are painfully optimistic, Brianna. So we're hoping this kitchen renovation is going to go super quick. We're really thinking it's going to go really fast and smooth.
I don't know. We'll see. This should go pretty quick.
We're not off grid, Meaty. We are on, our farm is on well water, so we have that, but we are on grid for electric, and our house is actually on city water. That's another thing that like we've considered converting this house to solar, but we do not plan on staying here forever. We plan on going to a larger property at some point, and so that's one thing that we have not done. However, we are remodeling the house now, and we may come down to doing that, but right now we don't have plans to.
Baker Acres, have you ever tried cinnamon basil?
Yes, I grew cinnamon basil last year.
Yeah, I got a picture of Baker Acres. They went on their date. He sent me a picture of her. She got so into the flowers that her nose come out covered in pollen. Oh. He's like, "Has this ever happened?" I said, "I have no idea. Usually when Jessica goes to the nursery, she doesn't take me."
Let's see. Happy to hear you be growing corn. Yeah, I planted some corn tonight, and I'm trying to decide what other corns I'm going to put in. I did a lot of planting tonight. Hey, Heirloom Permaculture, what's up? What are your must-have plants for tea? Chamomile. I always have lemon balm going. Just mostly, I planted it once, and it just always came back. But it is a really great plant to have for tea. Peppermint. Always have peppermint growing for tea. Tulsi, holy basil, is a great plant. It's a great adaptogen, so that's a good thing to have for tea. Those are really my main ones. I'd be open to other suggestions, though, but those are the ones I have in my garden every year. Greenwich Homestead, can I choose kale if I freeze it?
A lot of the nutrition would be...
I've never done that. I don't really know how that would work as far as juice.
You could freeze it and make kale, like put it in smoothies. Might be a good use for it, but I don't know about
just with how the juicer works. Like it tends to like not do as well with things that are super soft. Like I know you can't juice things like mangoes because of how soft they were. And I would feel like kale after it's been frozen would take on that texture. Oh, thank you to Wild Onions Homestead. Somebody asked, multiple people asked about like these head wraps. Most of these are from a store called Natural Life, and they're called boho bandos, and they're, I don't know if I want to take this off, but they're really long. I don't think I'll be able to get it back on reasonably, but it's like a long tube thing, and you just pull it over and pull it up over your head. I also took Malia into Walmart the other day, and they had something very similar that were a lot thinner, but that were really, really cheap. These were $12 or $13 each. And the ones at Walmart were really cheap, but they were also really, really thin. These are nice and thick, and they like you can actually you can wear these a bunch of different ways. But somebody asked if this was like a spiritual thing. And I will be completely honest with you. It's because I don't want my hair color to fade out in the sun. So this means I'm working outside because I get really good ethical hair color at the salon. It's expensive. I'm like, I got to make it last. People are like, are you being ultra spiritual? I'm like, no, vain. This is me being frugal and vain. So that's the truth. What were you about to say?
Someone asked what breed of bees do we have?
Italian,
except for 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hives are Italian and 3 hives are wild.
Oh, you get a duck egg?
Yeah, well, we passed feeding the animals.
Oh, you missed that one. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Duck egg. It's still warm. How do you prevent sun scald on tomatoes? Just don't cut back too much the foliage, and it's usually fine. That usually protects them. Thank you, Wilder Blues.
Someone see a lot of questions about new property. We haven't picked the new property. We're still at this property for now.
We'll talk about that in just a second. I want to answer a couple of these pest questions. Flea beetles, for anything that's a beetle, like a hard-shelled type of pest, diatomaceous earth is a really good answer to that. You got to put it on regularly, especially if it's raining. But that's what I would do for flea beetles or Japanese beetles. You can do neem oil. But I think diatomaceous earth is a better option, but you just have to stay on top of it. So if you've got anything hard-bodied like that, that would be the answer. Yes, Living Traditions place is gorgeous. So about the new land, I saw somebody asking about the Japanese beetles over and over, so I wanted to address that. Spinosauce. Do you know heirloom permaculture? That's something that I've never used. I would like to learn more about that. With a new property, we know that we want to have like a sustainable. We want to be able to be sustainable, and we're not here. We're definitely completely dependent on the feed store here, and we can't. I mean, we need hay, we need feed for our animals, and that's just how it is. We only have 4 acres, and then we have access to a few more next door. With our family being in that house, but we don't have enough to like cut hay. Now we are doing the best we can to do rotational grazing and use this property to the fullest, but it is still going to be limited. The other thing is our house is right by the road, and that hasn't been a massive deal as our YouTube channel has grown, but it has led to, I mean, like people drive by our house videotaping, videotaping, it's recording, like with their cell phones and stuff. Like, we have people that come by. We've had people like go to our utility company, to our feed store, trying to find out where we live and stuff like that. And we put a fence up and a gate up, and that's kind of helped a little bit with that. But, this is our home. Our kids play outside. And so there's nothing we can do about that. This house is right by the road. So we could get more property and have more property, but we would still be right by the road. So we definitely would like something that has more space where we can have cows, where we can have horses again and know that we're not, I mean, like we had horses and we had a lease that fell through and then another lease that fell through. We would like to have our own property that we can have horses. We don't want to get horses again until we have our own property. So we've known, I think we've known for a few years we weren't going to be here. Like we've done all of the improvements that we've done knowing that we weren't going to stay here. But we're still learning. I mean, we're going to take all that knowledge with us. Mostly, I really rely on the Lord to protect us from weirdos, but we definitely also have guns in our house. I mean, just being completely honest, like we live out in the middle of nowhere. We live in the country, so that's just part of it. So when will Maya do a devotional?
It's a good question. Mm-hmm. You'll know whenever we post it.
I definitely, I live with a Marine. I definitely don't worry about somebody coming in and messing with our house whenever Maya's here. Whenever I'm here by
Honestly,
myself,
you should be less concerned about me.
And?
I'm way more concerned about Ben.
Oh, Ben turned? Yeah, but he's not here at night.
No, but like when he's watching the house, I'm like, I'm more likely to give you a chance.
He's still young.
He's young. So. I'm thinking like, you have some parents who care about you. Ben's not thinking about that.
There's the snake left the duck house. We haven't seen it again. Oh, did Ben found it?
And grabbed it and took it out and left it in the woods. If it comes back.
Well, we have someone who is willing to take it that's having a mouse problem.
Right.
A friend of ours that she said she would take it in a bucket. Yeah.
So if it comes back, I'm not catching it and it keeps eating the eggs, I'll do what needs to be done. Wendy
Manning. My kids will drink herbal tea if there's honey in it. They drink herbal tea like hibiscus tea, chamomile tea. If there's, they won't drink it without honey, but they'll drink it with honey in it. Have y'all heard of the pink variegated Eureka lemon? I have. I actually had a pink variegated lemon and I killed it. I let it get too dry. I had one last year. We're
not drinking anything tonight. Oh, wait. Are you drinking out of that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Water?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was either king snake or rat snake.
Yeah, that's what they usually are. We get a lot of them.
Poisonous snakes don't get into coops and eat eggs. That's not how that goes. Venomous. Sorry.
Hey, Liam. Yeah, you can grow celery in a raised bed. I don't see why not. What is a typical weekday menu at your house? Well, today, the kids ate bagels for breakfast. We usually do stuff like smoothies for breakfast. And then for lunch, I put a chicken in the roaster oven. And then when it was almost done, I put a bunch of cauliflower from the garden and diced carrots in with it and let those cook. And then we had that with some salad. So like just some like baby greens, and I had some berries that I got from the store. So that was lunch. And then dinner. Actually, we didn't eat dinner yet. Like we eat heavier lunches and lighter dinners usually, especially whenever it's hot outside and we're working a lot. So we'll eat like a much heavier lunch, and then dinner is usually something light, like a lot of people like eggs for dinner and stuff like that. In the winter, it's the opposite. We eat lighter lunches and heavier dinners because we eat a little bit earlier in the winter because it gets dark earlier. So like eggs or salad, sandwiches, something like that for dinner. That's kind of usually how it goes. What is that?
Tom said, with a 36-inch stove, you can cook 2 cheesecakes.
Oh, I miss you guys.
That's not necessarily a benefit to me right now. In case you missed the beginning part of the video, we've been working out. So I don't even need 1 cheesecake right now. I need no cheesecakes.
Hey, single dad homesteading. How are you, man? Yeah, I'll show our chickens. They're getting pretty big. Yeah, you could probably sow ground cherries in 8B right now. You just direct sell them. They'll come up. I've still got them volunteering out there. They're going to produce.
I haven't eaten tomato yet. There's no tomatoes. We haven't produced any yet.
Yeah, we're going to wait till we have.
I ain't going to go buy a store-bought tomato. Come on, guys. I might as well just drink a cup of water and eat some mud.
That's probably a little dramatic.
Really? Blind taste test. Mud powder, some water, and a store-bought tomato. You won't even know. You wouldn't even know.
How many eggs do you get a day, TJ?
12, 13, 14.
12 to up. We've have had
16
like
to 18 before, whenever they're feeling a little frisky. I mean, like, especially when there's no snakes in there eating their eggs.
I haven't trimmed back that Jersey Devil's arms yet, North Star Prep Starter. I'm letting it get a little taller, but then I probably will because they are touching the ground. So I usually cut anything that's touching the ground.
Game Nerd Mom. Hey, Ma, building a coop here. Got a building question. Any tips for a coop roof?
We use tin.
Well, it's actually galvanized steel. But
yeah,
you could
metal.
Use anything. That's such a broad question. I don't know what the shape is. I don't know what kind of weight it can support. Like, that needs way more detail. You should email me. I'll try and answer your questions with pictures.
Susan, do you think self-watering pots could affect the taste of tomatoes since they don't dry out? That's a very good question. I would say that there's a very good chance that would affect the taste of the tomatoes. If they're going to stay if they're going to stay wet, that might. They would still be better, I would think, than anything store-bought because you could let them ripen on the vine. But it is really nice to stress your plants out a little bit by letting them get a little dry. It really does make the flavors a lot more intense and concentrated to let those sugars concentrate a little bit in dry weather.
Hey, from Cancun, Mexico.
Cool.
I need to come hang out with you.
Do you have a favorite house plant? Yes. Do you want to see it? Hold on.
You have a favorite?
Yeah.
It's like having a favorite kid.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You speak life to plants, you speak death.
No, I didn't have
Guys, she loves all of you equally. Don't listen to her.
It's actually looking a little puny because Bruce keeps messing with my house plants. So it's fairly new, but look at this. Variegated. It said it was a pothos, but it's definitely different than the other pothos I have. But isn't that such a pretty plant? If Bruce has already killed, he hasn't killed it, but my other pothos is looking really rough. And I'm hoping that they all make it through our remodel because I don't have, I have two massive windows here in the living room, but we don't have a lot of sunny places in the rest of our house. Have you tried growing Seminole pumpkins? I've heard they're really, really good, but I've not, like 4 vine borers and squash bugs, but I have not grown them. Yeah. I thought this variegation was really cool. Do y'all know where the jackpot is for houseplants? Is Trader Joe's. If you have Trader Joe's, they get houseplants. This thing's doubled in size since I bought it, but they're $6 and they come in a nice pot. Actually, can you hand me that pilea in the middle of the table?
The freeze dryer is funded.
The freeze dryer is funded. Yeah. That's amazing. So this is also one of my favorite plants. These are $6 at Trader Joe's in this pot, or $6.99. This is a pilea, which I learned are also sometimes called friendship plants because they have so many babies. Look at this. I already have. Look, there's baby, there's Bruce. Baby, there's baby. Yeah, Bruce does bad things to my plants. But I had a prayer plant in a pot that said, please don't die. And it just shriveled up. And I just don't think it's going to make it. It's looking really rough.
Man, leg day is killing me right now.
Yeah.
I stood up and I was like, don't do it.
Yeah, see, I know. Is that the Tinker's Wife? Is that not so good? I've honestly stopped buying plants anywhere else. Whole Foods gets pretty good ones. I got, I always say it wrong, Monstera. Is that how you say it? I got a Monstera that's this tall and this big, and I could probably separate it out in a pot this big for $14 from Whole Foods, which I thought was pretty okay. But $6.99, every time I go grocery shopping, I buy one. Now I've got all the ones that they have. So I haven't bought another one because that was my thing during the whole shutdown, because I was getting out once about every 10 days to go grocery shopping. And I was buying houseplants because I was like needing to be okay. Oh, is that why, Xavier? It may pull through, so you guys pray for my prayer plant. It may pull through. Actually, my plan with the indoor kitchen, because we're going to have the open shelving, is around the kitchen window to be able to set plants on those edges right around there. I want to keep plants in there. I think I missed this super chat. April Chisholm, I really miss your devotional garden videos. Will you bring them back? I don't really feel like they're gone. I usually just don't say anything unless I have something that I really feel like I need to say. And I've been thinking about it a lot. It usually, once it's been like 2 or 3 months, if that long goes, sometimes that long doesn't go before I post them. I'll start getting messages, and some of them are like, "Hey, are you ever going to do these again?" And some of them are like, "You've abandoned the Lord." But I've like been praying.
That's not how it works, guys.
I just haven't had anything to say. But thank you. I really do.
We don't have a schedule.
I really do appreciate getting to share stuff like that. I just want to make sure that what I'm sharing is not out of any sense of obligation.
Honestly, it's possible that the Lord has not put it on Jessica's heart to release any more devotionals because we're all still trying to apply what he released to Jessica in the other devotionals. So maybe we all should just go back, I'm counting myself, and watch the devotionals again until we're actually living that out, and then maybe something will come. Or I don't know. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually just try to share whenever something's on my heart. I don't, and sometimes, like, seriously, some of the devotionals I've had, I will wake up with no plans whatsoever shooting a video that morning about anything like that. And I will wake up and just have something rolling through my head and like just get up and get the camera and run down to the garden and film it or whatever. So, that happens. Sometimes I'll kind of start thinking about something and kind of mull it over. I've been kind of mulling something over for a little while, but I don't really feel necessarily like I have anything to share on it yet. How is Daniel doing? He's doing really well. He's going through physical therapy. He's using his arm again. He's able to like play a song on the guitar. Obviously, he doesn't have. Oh, I don't want to leave the site. He doesn't have like full range of motion yet, but he's recovering. But yeah, his surgery went well and everything. He ended up having to have 3 plates and a bunch of pins and stuff in his arm. He definitely did some damage. But Daniel was in a really bad car wreck. Mm-hmm. He and his 2 sons were driving and actually were T-boned by a police officer that was on call. And unfortunately did not have his lights on. And it was a really bad thing, but there were multiple witnesses on the scene. Like, he's going to be okay. He was really blessed by a lot of people on this channel and other people that have just been touched by his ministry that helped him buy a cash vehicle. So he has something to drive now. And he's actually having to pay out of pocket for a lot of medical bills, but it should be taken care of in time. It might take a little while, but so thankfully his boys were okay. And he's recovering well. It's been an interesting season for a person who plays guitar to not be able to at all. Yeah, that is a scary thing, Grace Carter, being T-boned. Yeah, his sons are okay. They actually were not damaged. It was hit about 12 inches in front of where Daniel was sitting. So it kind of hit the tire of the passenger or the driver's side on the front tire. His car is completely totaled. It was a really bad wreck. It was high speed. He was unconscious for half an hour. He literally has zero memory of the entire thing at all. He's just driving and then woke up in an ambulance, and he has not gotten any memory back. Really, Allie Brown? How about that? I didn't realize that. That's really cool. Rick Pino's who we went to India with, whenever we went on that trip a couple years ago. So, yeah, he's definitely had protection on him, and he's been doing well. I've talked to him, and he was out today, took his kids like swimming in a creek or something like that. I don't know. They were out and about. So he's definitely doing a lot better. Do you use herbs medicinally? Yes. I don't grow a ton of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff that I use, like astragalus root and all that different stuff, like I just buy that. I even buy more things like chamomile because I don't grow enough to last the whole year. But yeah, I use herbs medicinally. I like to make different things. My friend Lauren's really into that. She usually tells me what to do and gives me direction on stuff like that. Yeah, swimming in a creek.
Hey, I saw Nanda said hey.
Oh, hey, Nanda. Oh, and there's harvesting the bounty. We have not done the kids cruise. Last year, we tried to do it all year, but we could not work out a day that we could have all our kids with us because Malia is obviously, she lives with her mom most of the year. And we didn't want to go on the vacation without her. And so we were planning on trying to do it this year. And then we didn't have it booked, but COVID has happened. And I don't know that it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. So our kids have been really awesome and they'll be patient for that. The absent-minded gardener, primarily I use a Canon 80D DSLR. Would not suggest that to a new YouTuber. That's a big camera. Where is that camera? Oh, it's over on the coffee table. I also have a Canon M50, which I really, really like. And I think it's really good. But start with your phone if you're wanting to get started before you spend a bunch of money.
Kids' garden is not planted yet.
Well, it's got a bunch of volunteers growing in it.
True.
But we'll probably plant it maybe tomorrow. We were going to do it tonight, but I didn't have very much time. And I just was like, I don't want to do this rushed before the live. I'm going to do it tomorrow because I don't like trying to do things rushed with kids because sometimes, well, all the time that you're dealing with kids, it requires patience. And so trying to do stuff like that on a time restraint was not a good idea. Hello from Biggs, California. Well, hello, Paula. Laurel Jackson, my scarlet runner beans are turning light green. I'm in 8B and everything else in the bed is doing well. What can I do? It may be the heat. 8B is hot. Scarlet runner beans can get a little fussy when it gets hot. Runner beans, period, can get fussy when it gets hot. You might try some sort of like fertilizer on them and just see if that helps, but they may struggle a little bit with the heat. I have a hard time growing them through the summer here. They do better in the spring and the fall here. I think I remember you saying that you lived in Knoxville at one point. If so, how did you like Tennessee? Did you spend a lot of time in the Smokies? I did live in Knoxville for 2 years. It was before Jeremiah and I were married. And I loved Knoxville. I would have stayed there like forever. I would have been completely happy to stay in Knoxville if I had like anybody there. We were there for my ex-husband's job. He was working on a prison that was being built in Wartburg, Tennessee. And so we lived in Knoxville. It was an incredible town. And I did spend a good bit of time in the Smokies. We used to go up to Gatlinburg. We had little babies. Jackson and Asher were little bitty. I was pregnant with Asher there, and he was born in Knoxville. And so we didn't do a lot of hiking and a whole lot of outdoorsy stuff just because with 2 babies under a year and a half, that's hard. But, oh my goodness, Chris, a rough day yesterday. Elin dislocated her jaw. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I'm glad. I hope she's feeling all better. I'm so sorry to hear that. How did you and Maya meet? Jeremiah's brother, Josh. We mention him sometimes. He's been on our vlog. He is the one who has a contracting business and builds houses. He was one of my very closest friends, and Jeremiah's whole family, I knew them all. I was really good friends with his mom. Josh was actually briefly my youth pastor, and we went to the same church, and he's only a few years older than me, but it just worked out. Like my last year was his first year. And yeah, so we were just he was actually the last of his family for me to meet. So I knew his family. And what?
It was love at first sight, and
it wasn't really. What was it? I wasn't in the market for that. It was a weird time, but we did become very, very good friends. We were hanging out. Our kids hung out together. Malia and Jackson are the same age, and we became best of friends. And
we actually were not looking for relationships at the moment
at all. Yeah.
So I was just giving her a hard time.
Consider moving to God's country, Glenn County, Georgia.
No, probably not moving to Georgia.
Georgia is beautiful.
Driven
through it some.
It is.
Don't know exactly where we'll be.
Maybe we're going to Alaska.
We're not going to Alaska.
Catch some salmon.
That's not going to happen.
Salmon. A little grizzly.
Salmon is delicious, but I'm not going to move to Alaska. I am Southern, guys. I'm Southern.
I'm not going to Michigan either. Have you? No, sorry.
No.
I love all my Michigan people. I live in my Gardner. All the crazy stuff that's been
beautiful
going on
state.
with Michigan right now, not happening. Arkansas is way superior in that.
A wedded life, Fayetteville. Like we've definitely talked about moving to Northwest Arkansas. That has definitely been on the table for us, for sure. I love Northwest Arkansas, but
Jessica in the cold is never going to happen.
I will never. I see. I hate absolutes. I have a hard time saying this. Unless the Lord himself comes to me and tells me move more northern than zone 6B, then I would consider it. But otherwise, no. I need a 200-day growing season. I cannot handle the cold.
I don't think Texas is going to be it either.
I just can't do it. No. So, Stiver said, y'all, Kentucky pretty.
Kentucky real nice. Yep.
Oh, guys. Well, the Kentucky does have one excellent thing going for it, and that is that the Stivers live there.
That's true.
Canada. No. No.
Not gonna happen, guys.
Now, my friend Coral lives in Canada, but she lives Pacific Northwest side, and so she's technically the same zone as me. So I get a lot more snow, and it's cold, but it's not like the frigid north. I can't do.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Nunda, yes. Southern girls are better off staying in the South. I am very Southern. Now I will tell you the only place, and I've been a lot of places.
I'm not going to California.
The only place that has ever genuinely wooed my heart, geographically, wooed my heart when I was there, that I was so stunned by the beauty of it that I was I would be so happy to live here. But I very, very highly doubt that will ever happen because it's so far away from our families. And I just cannot imagine being that far away from our families. But the Pacific Northwest, when I went to Washington State last spring, I went and stayed the weekend and visited with my friend Shay Elliott. We had a big doTERRA meeting thing. I flew up there, and I'll tell you what, Washington State moved my heart in a way that I don't usually some people, they go places and everywhere they go, they think about living there. I go and appreciate it and think about going home. That's how I travel everywhere that I go. Cities, countries, just anywhere that I go, I'm this is really nice, but I want to go home. The Pacific Northwest, I was imagining farms there. That was Washington State, just totally moved my heart. But I could never move that far away from my family.
Oklahoma's not happening either.
He's from Oklahoma. That's where he's originally from. I love Arkansas. I really, really love Arkansas. There are some other states
that are similar
to Arkansas that I really like.
Y'all can figure out what we.
I love the Carolinas. That's definitely something that I really love. But I do love Arkansas. It would take a lot to get me to leave here. Just because it's as far as what we do, there's not.
The Northeast does interest me, but it's some because I think it'd be awesome. Well, the history, but also we could have our own maple.
Oh, Jeremiah. Where's that maple? We received some maple in our from, was it Sugar Shack?
Sugar Shack.
and he was like, "Oh gosh,
tastes like
so
butter
good.
syrup."
It does. It tastes like syrup with butter in it. It's so good. Sugar Shack Farms. Yeah, maple is like literally the thing that. Oh, Jeremiah, you're over here like we're working out. Don't send us bad unhealthy food. He's drinking maple syrup.
I took a little bit.
I've never looked into tapping maples in Arkansas, but that'd be cool if you could. How are winters in Arkansas?
Non-existent.
That's not true.
For the most part.
I mean, if you live in the north, they're non-existent. Our friends from Minnesota come down here and they're like, "Are you serious?" Because our ground isn't really hard freeze. Chris, I love where you live. I'd love to come up there and visit. I love East Tennessee and into the Carolinas. Like that area is exceptional to me. It's beautiful. That's the kind of places that I really, really like. But yeah, we get winter. It freezes. We sometimes get winter weather, like precipitation, usually more ice than snow, but occasionally we'll get a snow that's like up to like 12 inches. The whole world shuts down. It usually lasts about 3 days and then it melts. And I'm good with that. I'm like totally good with that. So I don't like being cold at all, which I think is completely fine because all the people who are like, you can't handle the cold, like they would die gardening on a 95-degree day. And I'm good. That's like 40 Celsius for those of you who are Celsius-ish. That's a little bit. I'm not 100% like clear on doing Celsius yet, but I always put it on my videos, so I'm learning. I just use iMovie to. Yeah, if you're from Alberta, like our winters, just know that it's not. It's not like LA where they never freeze. Like it's not like South Texas where it's 60 degrees through the coldest part of winter. I mean, we have days that are we have days that the highs are in the teens, which is, I don't know what that is Celsius, like negative days. 8, something like that. Have you ever been to the Passion Play in Eureka? I have not been. We've only ever actually been up to Eureka once since we've been married. We went to like a bed and breakfast. We don't have like a snow cream tradition here because so often, like making ice cream out of snow, because so often what we get is ice. Yeah, we don't get enough actual snow. Like so often what we get is ice, or it's like gets dirty fast because it's not enough to be thick.
Snow is really just water. How does that make ice cream?
You mix it up with like cream and you make ice cream with it. Jessica Simmons, well, I'm glad you made it. We are getting ready to sign off, but we're going to be staying for just a few more minutes.
Just a few.
Yeah, Remibu, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, getting your first tomatoes until July 1st, but you get them up until October. That's how it is for a lot of people who live in less humid climates. Like they get their tomatoes all the way to when they get frost, and it's different for us. We get them earlier, but they a lot of times cut off sooner. Yeah, it tastes a lot like soft serve. I've had snow cream before that was made here, but like that's not really. We haven't had winter weather actually for 3 years. Like we've had like little snow drizzles where it's, it's like a powdered dusting of snow, but we haven't actually had real winter weather. The year Benjamin turned 1, he's 5. So 4 years ago, we had like the worst winter weather we'd had in a really long time. And it kept coming. Like it wouldn't melt before more would come. And it was really crazy. And he got really sick and we had to take him to the emergency room. And I remember our Tundra almost slid off the road. Because we had to go in the 4-wheel drive. It took us like 2 hours to get the 40 minutes to the hospital because it was so bad. I mean, we don't have chains on our cars. Like we're not prepared for that because literally the need for it's like once every 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like snow apocalypse. If it snows 1 inch here, the school shuts down. Dead serious. Like,
and they can't clear the roads for
like we don't have infrastructure. Like most towns have like a plow attachment to put on trucks and the ability to salt the roads. But I mean, like, we don't have the infrastructure to clear our roads of even just a little bit of snow. Yeah, and like some people will have chains that are like emergency workers, maybe. But I don't know. It's definitely different.
Say hi to my husband, Henry.
Hey, Henry.
Hey, Henry. Henry the 8th, I am. I got married. Next door, she been married. Every time I see Henry, I think of that song because it's one of my mom's favorite songs. Henry the 8th, I am.
Yeah, we're very similar to, like, our climate is very, very similar to northern Alabama, for those of you who are there. I mean, it's similar area because like Daniel lives in Florence, Alabama, and usually we get weather and then he gets the same weather the next day. That's usually how it goes. Hey, Rose. Aw, thank you so much for that.
I don't hate Oklahoma. I just don't want to live there. I can appreciate a state. I'm just not interested in living and setting up like a big property there. So it's not that I don't like Oklahoma. I spent 15 years there.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama Stephanie.
The old folks here talk about walking uphill both ways, 5 feet of snow. That's funny, Melissa.
I grew up in a little town called Luther. It's off of the original 66 highway between Edmond and Tulsa.
You can pretend it's southern in Minnesota. That I genuinely, guys, I have never once experienced like. Okay, no, that's not true. When we went.
Yeah, I did actually grow up with the Tiger King.
When was it that we went up to get Malia? How was the summer? How was it? I remember seeing Frozen Ponds. When did we see Frozen Ponds?
No, we took her back towards August.
There were Frozen Ponds in August?
Yeah, the winter started again. No, it was Thanksgiving.
Did we go all the way up there on Thanksgiving?
Mm-hmm, for a week. First trip after all that got settled. I got her on the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we drove. No, we met somewhere. We didn't go all the way there. We met somewhere and Daniel drove with us.
No.
And I fell asleep in the back of the van. Your friend Daniel.
Yeah, that was the one we took her back later. The very first trip, we went all the way to Grand Forks.
I remember that, but that was like June.
You got out of the car to get gas, and it was like negative 20.
It was the first time in my life I'd ever experienced negative.
Over. I had to drag her back to the car.
And I was like, no, like it hurt to breathe. And I was just like, I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Guys, this is like north. Like this is like more northern. If y'all know that area, Grand Forks is 30 minutes from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Which is Canada.
Yeah, it's
like
north.
This is farther north than Minneapolis, St. Paul. Like it gets cold. They're like 30-inch snow blizzard. We'll have the roads clear.
When we went up there in the summer, and this is like middle of June, and we get up there, and it was something like 55 or 60 degrees, and all these people are wearing tank tops and shorts and like sandals, and I had on Ugg boots and a sweater and a jacket, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like in the heat of the day, in the summer, it was like 55 degrees and it didn't get dark until like 10 something. That's crazy. That's not how it is here. Like, and I was like,
Someone's from East Grand Forks. Grand Forks is actually half Minnesota, half North Dakota because there's a river that runs through it. Actually, it's one of the only rivers in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, that goes north. It flows into Canada.
Thank you so much for being an amazing inspiration, both as parents and gardeners. I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much, Mary. Living a rogue life. My family is in Rosedale, Oklahoma, near Byers. Do you know where that is?
Say it again.
Rosedale, Oklahoma, near Byers.
No, I don't know exactly where that's at. No.
There's
a lot of small towns in Oklahoma.
We like tacos.
Oh, I love tacos.
Somebody
Taco Tuesday
asked if YouTube is our main source of income. Yes, at this point it is. It's a huge blessing to be able to say that. Yeah. It is funny, like, whenever I go to, like, California and people are like, oh, you live in Arkansas, the Midwest. Like, I don't consider Arkansas the Midwest. I definitely consider it the South. The culture here is very, very Southern. And I also spent most of my life with my family. I grew up in Central Arkansas. Most of my family's from Southern Arkansas, almost down to the Louisiana border. And a lot of my family's in Louisiana. So that's, like, South.
Yes, I know where Norman is because I live there and I'm also a Sooners fan. So I'm very familiar with Norman more.
My necklace says ablaze. Yeah, I consider it the South as well.
Texas has a lot of good things. Bucky's gas station. They have the best. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what. I don't know how it started or what. But Texas has the best breakfast burritos, and they're in gas stations.
They have the best all burritos everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you. Like,
or hole-in-the-wall places. If it's called, like, Mimi's, buy the burrito. It's going to be good. Like, that's just the rule in Texas.
The gas station breakfast burritos are just ridiculous.
Yeah. I like Texas. I lived in Texas briefly near Houston.
I like Texas. I just don't know that I could live there. I don't know. It's not impossible.
I wouldn't. Texas is a good place to have a ranch, for sure. I love the hill country. I absolutely love the Texas hill country. It's beautiful. And I don't like flat.
The food in Texas. Our favorite pizza place of all time is in Texas.
They steal my heart.
Torchy's Tacos, which someone's saying, come to Austin. I'll feed you. I know. I've been to Austin multiple times.
Austin has got some good
off
food.
The chain. They have a gourmet donut place just south of downtown Austin.
But the problem is you
Gordo's.
can eat that stuff whenever you're visiting. But if you live there, you can't eat that all the
time.
I'll
be fatty all the time. Sorry. Not that anyone else who lives there is a fatty. I'm saying for myself. I know what I would eat. There's a gourmet place, a donut shop called Gordo's, south of Austin, and it is like a trailer.
You know, Gordo literally means fat.
Yeah. And the stuff they pile up on those donuts, it's not even, I don't even know how they even call it a donut anymore, but they just got like cheese and apples and cream cheese and icing, and it was so good though.
That's the kind of stuff I eat like 2 bites of. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I experienced it. Nanda, thank you so much. I love you. You're so fun. So it said fat and happy.
I would be fat and happy. I'll tell you what.
Yep. Waller. I lived in Waller.
Someone said there's a Torchy's in Denver. You need to go there and get the Trailer Park Trashy.
Yep.
It's the best taco they have. That and the blackened salmon.
I lived in Waller for about 6 months after Jackson was born. My in-laws lived there when I was married previously, and I lived down there. I didn't have a lot of, I didn't have a social life. I didn't have, I had a brand new baby. And so my memories of there, I don't have a lot of memories of going different places and doing different things. But I mean, I liked it. It was really hot. I used to go on walks and stuff. I mean, I just have a very few. I don't feel like I really lived in Texas. I was really young. So my brother's doing really well. He's starting back tattooing tomorrow, actually. And, he's been doing a lot of art and selling a lot of art. So, oh yeah, we can make some people hungry. What happens here at the end of these lives is we get hungry.
I'm hungry.
And so we start talking about food. Yeah. I like to eat fish and seafood. Yeah, I definitely like to eat fish and seafood.
We don't have a light fixture to turn on right now because I took that other one down. So.
Yeah.
It's just gonna have to be dark, and we're about to get off.
And that's our pantry behind us right now. We're moving everything out, trying to make this as functional as possible, because this is about to get gutted.
And the reality is that it's just about to be not functional.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't have hard feelings about Texas. Honestly, the real deal is that I really love my home. I grew up in Arkansas, and I really like that. I haven't been spending a whole lot, to be completely honest.
Garden's getting all the time.
The garden's getting all the time. That's probably going to be and I have been posting daily videos. Spending is probably going to be more of a thing that I do when the weather breaks a little bit, or when it gets so hot that you have to be inside. Right now, while it's mild, I mean, we are just outside all the time getting all this stuff in.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing a lot of canning videos in the kitchen, and we've got some ideas for some some cool cooking stuff coming up. So we got plans. We just got to get the kitchen done and get all the garden stuff finished.
Chris, Drew, it's hard because right now I'm sure he's rebooking like months worth of stuff. But he usually stays booked out for about 2 or 3 months, I would say. Maybe a little bit more right now.
Though.
Well, he's only coming back part-time and he's rescheduling all those people. But you could contact him and see.
Yeah. Go through Instagram.
Yeah, Drew LR on Instagram.
Drooler.
Yeah, Drooler. That's what he says that stands for. We live in Little Rock. So.
I thought that's what it stood for. He said, no, it's Drooler. Like he's drooling.
I hope that, well, I didn't do the www, so this is silly, isn't it? My chicken tapping.
I'm not concerned about the voles beating the Sooners, Richard.
Oh.
Probably unlikely. I mean, all the planets could align and, I could love tomatoes, raw. Like, crazy things could happen. The voles beat the Sooners. But I do like the enthusiasm. Way to stick with your team.
I'm definitely praying for Minnesota and for just our world right now, our country. Can't really tell you that I suggest.
Yeah, this year anything can happen. Sooners could actually win.
Because that's just, I just suggest a relationship with Jesus Christ who's alive within us. So that's really the best thing that I can suggest. But yeah, definitely like finding someone who can mentor you is a good thing. Andrea Proctor, I told my husband we should put Arkansas on our list to settle when he retires from the military. He told me, woman, you wouldn't survive the humidity. It definitely is a lot. Like
you will acclimate.
You acclimate for sure. It's getting really dark. Whenever we went to HOA a couple years ago, I met Luke and my gardener for the first time in person, and we were talking, and I had on a t-shirt with a hoodie, a jacket, and a hat, and he's standing there in just a short sleeve t-shirt, and I'm like shivering, and he's completely mild, and he's like, "Are you seriously cold right now?" And I was like, "Bro, can you garden when it's 100 degrees outside?" He was like, "Nope." And I was like, "That's my time to shine." But seriously, he was completely comfortable outside. It was like 45 or something like that. And he's completely comfortable because he's used to cold weather. And we were laughing so hard about it because of our opposites there.
All right, you ready to wrap it up?
Yep, it's dark and we got to eat some dinner. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Oh, I think I missed this. Gregory Dye said, does okra do well in a kiddie pool? Daniel grows his in a kiddie pool. I've never done it, but I would think that it would do okay. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We bless you. Until next time.